This is my first consultation call I ever had with Trade Brigade, part 4 to the new series I'm making. What's up, guys? Day trading knockouts. I'm in this video. What we're going to be talking about, or what Trade Brigade is going to be teaching us, is the time frame charts that Trade Brigade looks at when he's looking for his own setups intraday and how he looks at the charts. The importance of this is because you want to see what time frames most traders are looking at, and the 3 time frames that Trade Brigade is going to be showing us will be the time frames that most traders typically look at. When looking to take a trade, you have to look at the candle chart and get in when price gets to a certain level and execute trades based on your strategy. But depending on the type of trader that you are, whether it's a day trader, a swing trader, whatever time frame, however long your trades are, and if you do it on a daily basis, if you're swing, whatever it is, the time frame that you look at when executing a trade matters significantly. It matters significantly in terms of being able to manage your risk, set up where you want to take profit at certain targets, and many other factors that you got to take into consideration. Ever since Trade Brigade mentioned these 3 charts to look at, I've had that chart the same all the way from now. And again, this is almost 2 years ago. To be roughly exact, it's a year and 8 months ago. Ever since he mentioned it, I've always used it, and day by day, week by week, month by month, have been slow incremental progress that I've been making with it. So I highly recommend you take this into consideration and find a way to make this work for your strategy. With that being said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to Day Trading Knockouts, and peace out to all my fellow millionaire traders.
So I'd love to, what are your thoughts? Do you have any questions, initial reactions? Where do you want to go from here?
So I'm actually a fan of naked charts. The only reason I had all those indicators and stuff is because his thought processes, since he's not as experienced as like you or Carmine Rosado, it's better to have like indicators that give you indication of when a move would actually happen. Like that's his thought process. Like I've always wanted to know the psychology. In fact, I had a few questions I wanted to ask you in regard that I had listed, and you kind of went over a lot of it over psychology. Like I understand the gap fade psychology a little bit, and he went over that, but I wanted to know more psychology and be able to tell when people are good, when they're upset because they're losing. Like I've been trying to grasp all that kind of. So I'm a fan of that kind of this kind of style kind of. Also, is it okay? Would you prefer? I know you have a 5-minute candle chart, but are 3-minute candles okay to you, or do they skew up the chart in your opinion?
Yeah, 3 minutes are fine as well. That really comes down to a preference thing. For me, I think the reason that I look at a 5-minute chart, the reason I look at an hourly and a daily, are because those are the charts that, in my experience, the most people are looking at, right? So if you can look at, because we've got to remember to some degree as well, markets, from a technical perspective at least, are somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If everybody, let's say there's a room full of 1,000 traders and everybody is shown a bull flag, right, in the context of an overall uptrend, I would say 900 of those 1,000 traders would say the next most likely move is a breakout. So if everybody's thinking breakout and we start to break the top of that flag and everybody turns into a buyer, then naturally the market should start to move higher because there's, all this buying activity, there's support for the higher prices, right? So I like to look at the charts that the most people are looking at, which is, again, going to be your daily. It's going to be your hourly for like swing traders and folks who just kind of like think about, what would it be like? If you go to a big bank and you've got someone who's like roughly keeping an eye on the market, they're definitely not an active trader, that's for sure, but they're keeping an eye on the market. They just, need to know kind of what's going on. They may be managing a portfolio. They execute trades at the close of day, open of day, and that's kind of it. Those people are usually looking at like hourly charts just to get a sense like, all right, the day is moving higher, the day is moving lower, whatever. So hourly chart. 5-minute chart to me is like the home base for scalpers. In my experience, the most, I've talked to a lot of folks out there, and 5-minute chart seems to be the sweet spot. Just because the 1 minute, don't get me wrong, the 1 minute's got its place, but it's a little too fast for me personally. You could watch a 1 minute, but 5-minute seems to be the most popular that I can tell. So I like the 5 minute. It makes sense to me. It's an easy number to wrap my head around, right? 3 5-minute candles make up a 15-minute bar, and then I can go from there because the in between time frame I use is the 15-minute. So I like to think about it like that. But there's nothing wrong with 3-minute either. You could say 5 3-minute bars make up a 15-minute bar, right? So it really is personal preference. But to me, I wouldn't use something obscure, right? As long as you're not using something like I had just we'll keep it brief, but someone once came to me and said, "Hey, I'm using this special strategy that I sort of figured out, and I'm using a 7-minute chart."
Okay.
And I was just like, "A 7-minute chart, huh? Like what about that 7-minute chart do you like so much?" And they were just going on and on about how it worked for this particular indicator that they coded up. And that's fine. And if you find the data that works, then great, you found the holy grail. But it wasn't working out great. And I said, maybe you should just start looking at a more reasonable time frame,
Yeah.
5 minutes,
Okay.
2.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last things that I guess while as we're wrapping up here, I guess to who what are the videos and everything else